Hi, it's Jimmy Haslip here, and I'm on Stan and the Fan podcast. Wonderful podcast. Please tune in.
The first thing I wanted to I did the same thing with Passarelli. I just kind of wanted to get your origin story with Tommy, because I know, when I did the teaser album and then Reggie McBride played on Private Eyes just a few months later,
That's
where
right.
did you step in?
Well, Lena Del Rey, and they had a gig at this motorcycle bar in Venice Beach, so I'm playing there, and that was a crazy gig. But I got a phone call at the place, on the phone booth. They had a phone booth. The bartender said, is there a Jimmy here? And I said, yeah, it's me. And he goes, there's a phone call for you. So I grabbed the phone, and it's Mark Stein. And he says, what are you doing? I said, I'm on a gig right now. He said, well, can you come to SIR tomorrow and audition for Tommy Bolin? And I said, yeah. So that's what I did.
Did you know Tommy at the time? Had you
I was a
played
fan
with
of
him or
Zephyr.
across? Yeah.
Zephyr.
Yeah, I was a fan of that band. I think one record, but I was a big fan of theirs. I thought it was really cool. And of course, I was aware of his playing with Billy Cobham on Spectrum. And then I was aware of Teaser, so I was aware of Stanley. And I heard about Private Eyes, but I wasn't familiar with the record. Anyway, I went down to SIR and I played with Tommy and Mark. And at the time, it was Johnny Bolin on drums.
Right.
We played for a while. I think Norma Jean Bell was there too. So we jammed and played. They showed me a couple of tunes. And then Tommy said, great, you got the gig. We have a concert in like a week or something. So learn these tunes and we'll rehearse again. And then next thing I knew, I was flying to Denver, and I went from playing a little motorcycle bar in Venice Beach to Mile High Stadium.
And that was the Frampton. We were headlining.
You were there with Peter Frampton. I also met Gary Wright there.
Well, we had the same manager, so that Gary Wright was always on our shows with us for a couple of years. But you and we didn't really get to hang that day very much. It was I was pretty distracted. And Tommy, I did remember Tommy.
I think
He was kind of sad that day because he wasn't headlining.
Hey, I was thrilled to be there and do the gig, and of course,
So that was your first gig. That was the first gig for you.
That was my first gig with Tommy.
10,000.
I mean, that had to be something, standing in front of just that huge crowd. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know what it was like. What was 60,000 people or something?
It was a huge crowd at Mile
It was
High.
big. It was a big
wow.
bunch of people.